the chat box and we'll get to them. So welcome to today's workshop, Use YouTube to Grow Your Business. I'm Vito Curcuru, and I'm the Vice President of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce and co-founder of Fox Momentum. On behalf of the Chamber Board and Suzanne Levine, who is the Executive Director, we welcome you. The Grow with Google partnership is unique to our Chamber, and we look forward to bringing you many more events in the future. There are a number of Grow with Google topics, including Google Analytics and put your business on Google, etc. So please look for those as we go forward. In today's class, however, you'll learn how to use YouTube to grow your business. I'm going to share how to leverage the wealth of Google's data and insights to convert YouTube's engaged audiences into results for your business. More specifically, I'm going to share some macro video trends, different video formats, targeting strategies, what good video creative looks like, how to set up a successful YouTube channel, and how to measure results. Now for some housekeeping. I'll present the information. Feel free to put questions in the chat box or inside the Q&A box. And at the end, I'll start to address them after I've presented the information. Before we dive in, let's take a step back. We're all aware that media consumption has changed drastically. Surfing the internet has become part of our daily lives and has changed pretty much everything we do. We watch, we share, we connect with people, we buy, we like, we interact. We all know the things that video has us doing. And we have tremendous choice, and we all have our favorites. Despite all these choices and all the options that we have, there's still some basic needs. We sleep, we eat, we communicate, and we're watching more and more video. In fact, video is the world's favorite pastime, and it's still growing. By 2021, video will be 82% of consumer web traffic. Over the next few years, we expect the power of video to be unleashed to enable more than half of humanity to learn, innovate, and participate on video platforms. So you can see the case for going to YouTube or getting some videos out there on behalf of your business. The case is very strong. And at the heart of the online video boom is YouTube. YouTube has over 1.8 billion monthly logged in users. And every day, people are watching over 1 billion hours and generate billions of views. And I'm going to take a step back here and remind everyone, if you didn't know, YouTube is owned by Google. So you're going to hear a lot of Google YouTube references and how the products can interact together. But in case you didn't know, YouTube is owned by Google, which makes it additionally a powerful place to be. And a lot of people don't know that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world after Google, as it reaches 91% of the online population in the US. We also realized early on that giving people a choice was critical. When you give people a choice, something magical happens. Well, they pay attention, they engage actively, they watch, share, and subscribe, and then they watch some more. Why? Well, it's simple. When you choose what you watch, you pay attention because it matters to you. People only care about content that is relevant to them. And that's why when we talk about good creative, we're going to talk about how to put your business in a best position to make that good creative that's going to be relevant to people. So the question for marketers is, how do you translate these billions of views, actively engaged users, into growth for your business? Well, good creative, we're going to talk about that. How to maximize your YouTube business channel, how to find valuable customers, capture their attention, and finally, how to measure the impact on your business. So on the topic of good creative, as a reminder, creative matters. Your creative can be the single strongest force multiplier you have. They know that 50 to 70% of a campaign's return on investment depends on that creative. And that was a study done by Nielsen Catalina Research via the Advertising Research Foundation in May 2017. So here's the good news. Nowadays, technology has allowed anyone to make a video. You do not need an entire team of people to create high-quality videos that people will watch. You don't need a studio. You don't need a fancy program. You can just take out your phone and start shooting a video. And YouTube is not a platform where only the largest brands advertise either. You don't have to be Nike, Coca-Cola, or L'Oreal to run your ads. If you shoot an authentic video that tells your business story and put it in front of the right people, it will go a long way. So let's talk about some of that content and a couple of things to keep in mind when you're thinking about shooting your own content. Who's the star, the story, the sites, and making sure there's a strong 5 seconds. So when you're talking about the star, it could be yourself, your customers, your employees, any one of those individuals you can shoot a video about. You could have them shoot a video for you. And think of the story as introducing, it could be a new product, an overview of your business. One of the things I like to tell people when they start talking about video that they want to do on their own, I ask them to think about the minute they open to the minute they close, and all the different things that could happen during the day, all the problems they solve for people, all the different tactics they take to sell to someone, and how throughout that day their employees are interacting with people, how the customers interact with them. Every day for many businesses is different and unique. And every time there's an interesting interaction or there's a different story that can be told, that's the time to start thinking about those stories. So you may have solved a problem for someone, and if you're an accounting firm, you may have solved a problem for someone. If you're at a florist shop, maybe there was someone who came in for flowers for their loved one. Those are all different unique stories or testimonials that you can give. And that's how we start talking about generating content that's going to last a while and it's going to have a long lifespan. All of those moments and those touch points can all be points of relevance for someone else as they watch your content. People love storytelling, and you probably have 1,000 stories that are happening to you, your employees, and your customers every day. So you think about that minute you open to the minute you close, all the things that have happened. And then, of course, you go offline and you start thinking about the minute you close to the minute you open. The next day, there's prep work. There's employees who have interesting stories. You could profile someone, what their hobbies are, allow people to get to know them. And now you're building relationships. So those stories, think about relationships, the content, and how you can get your message out in these simple type of videos that you can shoot on your cell phone. Again, you don't need a fancy program. You don't need a team of people to do this. You can do this on your own. Sights and sounds and editing. People always ask, what about the editing? How do I do that on my phone? And I tell people, like I would tell anyone, don't worry so much about having something that is slick or looks, particularly great. People are into authenticity today. People want to see you, and it's okay to mess up. It's okay to mispronounce a word. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And have that strong 5 seconds and clear call to action. Articulate that value proposition and unique selling proposition. Basically, at the end of the video, at the beginning of the video, in the middle of the video, don't forget to ask for the sale. Don't forget to ask for the customer. Don't forget to say something to the effect. And that's how, so-and-so enjoyed our business coming in the experience. We look forward to seeing you. Please contact us. Please come on in for your experience. Don't forget to come in and have a good meal on us for your birthday. Don't forget that call to action at the end. Very important. Always ask for that sale when you're the business. And now we're going to take a look at a couple of videos by Adrenaline Barbecue. It has about 360,000 views. And what I like about this video is that essentially it's very easy to do. And parts, you don't have to do the whole thing, but think about the different parts and how they represent the business and what they do.
Amazing barbecue means great temperature control and a humid cooking environment. The patented Sloan's here delivers both. The water trough has been engineered to deliver a 5-hour supply of steam for steady temperatures and smokehouse quality flavor. The design of the charcoal basket extends your low and slow cooking time by hours and makes supercharged steam for ease. And because it's made of heavy gauge 304 stainless steel, it will last a lifetime.
So that had a lot of elements that we talked about. There's a testimonial, there's someone simply speaking about the product, there's the product attributes, supercharge your sear, a lot of good elements in there that you can make a video from your phone. course, you can take the video off of your phone, and most computers now come with simple video editing software that's very easy to use. If you have a Mac, you're familiar with iMovie, which is free. A lot of opportunity. You can also edit if you post to YouTube. And all your social media sites will generally allow you to do some basic editing.
What we're trying to create is a motorcycle that is fully accessible, that's just fun. You don't have to jump over the hurdle of being able to keep the front wheel on the ground, or you don't have to go out and buy a set of leather pants. You can just experience what it is to be on a motorcycle, have that fun. We get so many people that say, I've never been interested in motorcycles, I've never appreciated motorcycles until, hey, I saw this picture of Janice, and I'm like, I need to know more about what is this? You know, maybe I could actually, maybe I want to be a motorcyclist. Maybe I want to ride one of these. Or maybe it doesn't matter if I want to be a motorcyclist. I want to ride a motorcycle. That's all it takes. And I think that's what Janice is all about.
So Janice took a little bit different approach, a lot of shots of the motorcycles, and he just started talking, right? I mean, I don't expect everyone to be able to do a drone shot at the end like they did, which is spectacular, but you can just see it was simple, talking about the product, people interacting with the product, and that's really what we're trying to do here. Keep it simple, storytelling, allowing people to get to know your product and service, allowing people to get to know you. Okay, so I always compare a YouTube channel to a storefront. It's a place where all your great video content lives. Running a YouTube ad not only drives traffic to your website, but also to your YouTube channel. So we're going to transition a little bit on now how to use YouTube to maximize your investment. But I want to emphasize that first part of that storytelling, because one thing that people always get caught in is they'll shoot, you know, each and everything they cook at a restaurant, and then they run out of ideas. But you think about that plate and think about the person who prepared it, the person who served it, what goes into it, why it goes into it, why the restaurant chose it, and all of a sudden each plate has four or five stories, just what I just said. If you're an accounting person or if you're a website development company, there's a reason people want to redesign their website. There's technology they don't know. There's things that they don't understand. Start talking to businesses and business owners in such a language that they can understand it quickly and easy, and they'll want to contact you. So you want to make sure a YouTube channel is in great shape. And we're going to walk through 3 easy steps on how to do that. We always recommend having a new business channel brand account where you only have business content. And that's your business storefront. And there's a lot of people make the mistake and put their personal YouTube channel and drive traffic to an account that not only hosts business related videos, but their personal videos. And creating that channel is very simple to do, but the separation is very, very important. So think of it as that YouTube channel. This is your channel. It's your ABC, your NBC, your CBS, it's your Netflix, and it's going to be your way to communicate to people. It's your content. So that's one way to think about that YouTube channel. You're suddenly the network executive of a whole series of content. And the easier you make it for users to navigate, the longer your target audience will consume the content. So here's some things to think about where a lot of people go wrong. Use YouTube channel trailers to introduce your business. Feature that content we talked about, incentive users to subscribe. And put that around your business if you have people coming in, if you're a retail business, or put that on your profile of other social media. Give people reasons to subscribe. It could be % off, could be a discount, it could be allowing them to give a testimonial, it could be any one a number of reasons. You know which incentives probably work best for you. And then you want to start to organize that content so it's easy to navigate. And that's important, so you have channel sections so people aren't lost. If someone's coming into your sewing shop and they're only interested in a certain kind of yarn or doing a certain kind of needle and stitch, allow that channel to exist. People will be able to find it easier than if they were just trying to hunt it down. So let's talk about those details now. The final touch is on making that YouTube business channel shine so you can drive people and traffic from all points in your social media. Personalize that channel. Update your channel banner and icons to create a more cohesive brand experience. A lot of people don't realize that if you start to dig into your channel, you can put your logo, custom banner, and you can really make that shine so it looks consistently with your other marketing materials. And this is something that you can do, and it's very simple to do. Set up your channel like that storefront. Make it clear what product and service you're selling. Add those custom thumbnails that encourage users to watch. And when we say custom thumbnails, when you upload a video, there's going to be a point where it says, is this the image you want to show? The custom thumbnail section. And you can upload any image you want in front of that. So if it's for a certain product or service and you don't have that beauty shot, but you have inside that video, but you have a great shot of the customer, or you have a great shot that you've taken a picture of that product, or you have a great shot of your storefront, but you just didn't put that in your video, you can put that in your thumbnail and have a call to action right there. So it's a nice little added incentive so people can see it and click on the video. And be searchable on YouTube with metadata. So what does that mean? Well, we're getting a little bit in the weeds, but think of it this way. When all the content on your site has to be search engine optimized, which basically means Google, Bing, everybody needs to be able to find it. And that's where these descriptions come in. When you put on your video, there's always a section to describe the video. What you don't want to say is holiday campaign, 4th of July. You want to add something catchy. You want to have a description that summarizes your video in 1 to 2 sentences, because as you know, when you search for videos on YouTube, the results that come up, well, a lot of that is dependent on your description. So if you want to have 4th of July barbecue chicken, 4th of July barbecue, how to make the best tasting chicken, why you should come to us for your 4th of July catering needs, then you want to put in there why you should, 4th of July catering menu 2020. Because then YouTube will be able to find that description and push that up when people are searching for it. So we're talking about the metadata and the search engine optimization, but all about those descriptions and those tags. Basically, you want to tell them what they're going to see and then tell them again. So now we've talked about the creative aspect of the YouTube channel and a little bit about that advertising. So now let's talk about how you can find valuable customers and how to target that campaign to the relevant people. When we talked earlier about today's consumer, we spend most of the time browsing the internet. We're moving between one device and another to complete a task, whether it's to stop, shop, plan a trip, or just browse content. Well, these moments create millions of consumer signals, and based on what we know about people that they're in market for buying and what they're passionate about. And with 7 properties that reach over 1 billion users, we have more signals from more sources than ever. So now we're going to put the power of all the Google products and show you how they work, but more specifically, how YouTube can help you find products on a budget, customers on a budget. So based on all these signals, we can divide our YouTube's targeting capabilities into 3 sections. This is how you can target on YouTube when you're going to put an ad on YouTube. Who and where is your audience? So you may have a small flower shop in Farmington Hills. Well, you can narrow down your targets, only focus on those relevant age groups. You can choose to show your ad only in Farmington. You can choose only in West Bloomfield. You can choose to show it only in Commerce. You can start to drill down on that audience, where they are. What are their behaviors and interests? So maybe you only want to show your ad to customers who are looking for financial planning services, retirement, or investment. Maybe it's only for people who are looking to add whatever the product is that you have. Well, now we're talking about the behaviors and their interests. So someone who sews a lot, maybe that's your target. Maybe it's someone who drinks a lot of coffee. Maybe it's someone who goes out to eat a lot. So we're talking now about their behaviors and interests. The third part, what video content are they watching? You may know your target audience browses YouTube channels that feature things like how to plant flowers. Maybe these people are those who want to know how to put up wallpaper, so they're into interior decorating. Maybe they don't know the colors, so they start looking for things like what are the best colors to choose for each room. So you can choose to only run in front of those videos that are related to planting flowers or to home decorating or interior decorating. So now you can start to see how the bigger advertisers start to put in front of those videos the ads that seem to make sense and go with the content you're about to watch. So now we'll talk a little bit about the interest-based targeting. So last year, YouTube introduced advanced audiences and made updates to the existing affinity and in-market to make them even stronger. So what does that mean? There's two ways to look at this. Let's say you're a wedding photographer and you're looking for people who are planning their wedding. Well, with life events, you can look for people who are planning their wedding because Google and this targeting ability can show you who those people are and you can get in front of them. Or maybe there's a consumer patterns that you feel strongly about. People are showing specific types of patterns. Maybe they frequently go grocery shopping. They're department store shoppers. They're frequent restaurant goers and more. So perhaps someone has a bakery or you own a bakery and you know that people who tend to go out and buy a lot of food at grocery stores, those people are right in your wheelhouse. So you're going to find those people through consumer patterns and the life events they may have, someone going to a wedding or having a birthday or going through a graduation. And now you can see you can really start to get in deep and start to target people so that you're not wasting your money if you decide to go with Google, YouTube advertising. So campaigns that use intent-based targeting on mobile devices have a 20% higher ad recall lift and 50% higher brand awareness lift than campaigns that just use demographics, which would obviously make sense. If you're interested in a product or service, and you see an ad that has to do with that product or service, you're probably going to remember that product or service better. So that's a great study that basically proves probably what you knew in your gut the whole time. So we'll talk a little bit more about the different YouTube ad formats and best practices. And this is important to realize because now we're going to start to get into the nuts and bolts. Before we dive into that, we'll say one thing. YouTube offers broad reach, but it's attentive reach. So what does that mean? Well, it offers the best opportunity for someone to see and hear an ad. So when you're watching a TV and commercial, it'll come to mind, if you leave your TV, the odds are you probably didn't remember what you just saw on TV during the commercial break. But when you're watching a YouTube ad, you're sitting in front of your device, you're sitting in front of your screen. Well, it makes sense that you'd have a higher recall. 93% of YouTube ads are seen compared to other places when it's only 66% and 95% are heard. And again, that's a series of, you're in front of your screen, you're waiting for your video to come up. So of course you're sitting through the ad. So we know if a viewer is exposed to both sight and sound, they're twice as likely to remember your brand name and 3 times as likely to remember your ad. YouTube video formats have been built for all attention spans. So there's short ads for short attention spans. There's the bite size 6 seconds, the snack size 15 to 20, and the meal 30 plus seconds. Consumers have a choice, and they're not forced to watch content they don't care about. Advertisers only pay if the viewer watches the video, if that's the way you want to run your ad campaign. So you're only paying for engaged users. Some of the best practices are, because users can skip ads after 5 seconds, make sure you create attention-grabbing content that compels viewers to watch. And be sure to include your brand in those first 5 seconds to get your name out there, whether the ad is watched or not. So we're going to take a look at some ads where you can see in the first 5 seconds, you know exactly what's going on. You'll see a visual from that company, you'll see their name on the bottom, and it's difficult to not know within 5 seconds what they're advertising.
Allergy sufferers, this is truly noteworthy. For all day, all night relief, there's Zysol. It's just as effective at hour 24 as at hour 1. Now try it free for 10 days. Be wise all and get your free sample at Zysol.com. Right now, find Queen mattresses starting at just $8.99, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
That Queen mattress one is incredible when you think about what we just saw. And within 5 seconds, we've got Queen mattresses, the price, there's a bed, and he's telling you exactly what's happening.
Right now, find Queen mattresses starting at just $8.99, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
And that's the kind of creative that you can create that is not difficult, but it may take you a little while to realize I have 5 seconds. What can I say? How can I say it? What's the video? But again, there it is in 5 seconds. You're probably going to remember what was just put on that slide or what you just saw before the video rolled. Second format is the bumper format.
Right now, find queen mattresses starting at just $8.99, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
So again, how simple that is. And the Noosa ad, we'll watch it one more time because I interrupted. What you have to like about that Noosa ad is it's a still shot. Just, you know, you're looking right at it. Everything you need to see is right in there. They didn't need the bottom part, but it did draw your attention. But you can have something as simple as that. So the second format is the bumper format. We know the viewer has a short attention span. They're likely to abandon those longer ads. So we looked at that. And now there's another way to get people going, sort of a lead gen type of format for advertisers who care about driving clicks and conversions. It's a new ad format they have. It's called True View for Action. This format creates a button below or within the ad, as well as clickable end card that drives the video ad viewer to take actions like book now, get a quote, or learn more. This way, advertisers can explain their service or product to potential new customers and capitalize on users' interest right away. So we have a learn more, buy now, get a quote. You can drive people to a specific landing page, drive people into a specific action by using this type of ad format. Think of it as your lead gen type of ad. And another format is the companion banners that appear next to your in-stream ad at the top right. And you've probably seen those where you're watching a video and then the top right, there's an ad in a stream, you know, and a banner ad. You can customize that companion banner ad and it shows a video on it links to your YouTube channel. So always, you know, when you want to use that video ad, you can have that banner, which I know everyone has probably seen many, many times. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the measurement. We've talked about the formats, the targeting, the channels, the best practice. So how do you measure the impact? So there's a few ways, because we all need customers and conversions and people buying things. There's a few ways you can do that. Brand results, which are impressions and views. That's leveraging Google brand lift surveys to measure ad recall, brand awareness, or consideration. And that it can be accessed via Google Ads. There's online results, clicks, conversions. If you care more about direct interactions. And this is talking, I'm going to go over how you can leverage this with the free tool that Google offers. Or offline results. Clearly, you know, when you start running ads, there's a good possibility that people, you know, you're getting an overall lift in sales. But this online results, I'll take a step back. Google Analytics is a free product that you should have on your website. There's a couple of reasons why. One, many, many people use it. It's a free service, it's a free product, and it's very simple to install depending on the kind of website you have. It's as simple as putting in UA and a couple of numbers, and that will help install your Google Analytics on your website. What it does, Google Analytics, is going to tell you the kind of people who come to your site, when they come to your site, the day they come to your site, how long they've spent on your site. When they leave your site, they're going to tell you where those people came from. If you're running other paid advertising, they're going to tell you a little bit about those people in terms of their hobbies, their interests, if they were in market. So what analytics does is you can really start to track that ROI, see if you really did drive traffic from YouTube once you started to put those ads out there. But it's also going to tell you about where else the traffic's coming into your website. And it is a free product. We're going to have another webinar talking about data and analytics, but it's something that, you know, a good web designer, a good web company, or yourself, you can install these, the Google Analytics, and it really gives you a lot of great information. So if you can take one thing from this part of the presentation is free product, you need a Gmail address. And when you get your Gmail address, you can get your Google Analytics product going. And when you get your Gmail address, it comes with Google Hangouts. Your Gmail address comes with so much storage that you can use. And your Gmail address also comes with a full, the YouTube channel. That's where you can set up your brand channel. You go through your Gmail address. And the Gmail address will give you access to free storage up to a certain amount. And it gives you access to Google Sheets, to Google the PowerPoint product they have, and the Excel product. And those are all substitutes for Microsoft Office. If you're a small business and you're looking for your own private Zoom meetings, Google Hangouts offers that. If you're looking for your own type of Microsoft Office Word, you want to get away from that. It all comes from your Gmail address, and it's all free with the analytics. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the metrics and the consumer journey. And the consumer journey is an area a lot of people have heard about. It's essentially something that commonly has replaced the concept sales funnel, and it's replaced that whole idea of from someone being exposed to your ad and then to purchase. So in the old days, you know, there was intent and then you started to work them down the funnel. Today we talk about a consumer journey. So you may have watched a YouTube video, you've seen a bumper ad, you may search for Sunnyvale Motors as an example, you visit the website, a cookie, and this is where, you know, your behavior could be attached to a cookie. A cookie is nothing more than they know you've been there and now they start to follow you around the internet a little bit. And this is why some people say, gee, I was just on this, you know, I was looking at tennis rackets, all of a sudden all I see are tennis racket ads. Or how do they know that all of a sudden I was looking at tennis rackets? Well, you leave a cookie. The reason it's called a cookie is because you're leaving crumbs behind as a trail. And then you get remarketed on YouTube based on that cookie. So someone will see that racket ad. And then they visit the client website again. Then there's a test drive that's scheduled, and then they purchase. So this customer journey is something, again, that you, if you don't have one for your business, you want to take a look at this slide or talk to someone in marketing or just do a little bit of research on either sales funnel or customer journey, and you can see how your YouTube ads and all your advertising fits and starts to work together. So at the end of the day, we know that what matters is not leading indicators. It's about communicating with your best potential customers on YouTube that drive sales. And when you look at the Nielsen numbers, we run to date, you find that YouTube drives sales lift for about 14 out of 19 studies globally. Basically what it says is that they've done a lot of research, and there's a lot that goes into building this YouTube product, and there's a lot that they know how to get people to get to sales. Now, as a recap, we talked about finding customers with advanced audiences like customer intelligent audience. We talked about capturing and converting them, getting them in different formats for different attention spans and campaign objectives. We talked about measuring the impact, making sure that the campaigns are driving against the brand metrics that matter most to your business with brand lift, and using that suite of analytics to make sure that what you said it was going to do, it actually did, and to be able to measure it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the questions that people have, and I'm going to bring up another image. And I want to thank, on behalf of the board of directors for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce and Suzanne Levine, we thank everyone for joining us, and we thank everyone for being here, because we know that we're doing our best. We want to keep adding value to everyone in the chamber and keep adding value to everyone. And it's a pleasure to be able to have this partnership with Google. So I'm going to look into if we had any questions. Okay, we don't have any questions. That's always a good thing. Maybe everyone understood everything. But feel free, we'll take a minute. And again, I want to recap that the Chamber of Commerce, under the direction of Suzanne and the board, we thank everyone for joining us. And we thank everyone for listening. We're going to have a few more of these about some of the Google products. And I think one thing to take from the customer journey, the good creative, and understanding how to build that channel, whether you use paid advertising or not. So I think I have a question. Somebody's asking about costs. Let me see in here. Oh, okay. This is okay. Now there's, we have a question about costs and how much would it be to, it's roughly, this is another social media type product and service where it doesn't cost a lot to have a high impact. So some people use as little as $10 a day. Some people spend more, but you don't need to spend a lot to have a large impact. You can spend as much as you want, of course, but it's not necessarily something you have to spend a lot for. We have a question about YouTube and analytics. So the analytics for your ad campaigns will show up once you start spending. But the impact of the analytics campaign on your website, you'll want to have the website synced to your Google Analytics account. So you'll go to Gmail, you'll get a Google Analytics account. What you'll do is you log into your Gmail, then type in Google Analytics. And then once you click on Google Analytics, it's going to know that you're logged into your Gmail. and it's, as you go through the process, it'll say, do you want a code for your website? And it's going to give you a code, a UA dash a few numbers, and then you'll take that over to your whatever place you built your website. It can be either an HTML code if you only can do HTML programming. It could be as simple as some of the web builders just giving you a 6-digit code and you put that in there. So the analytics are going to come from the advertising. They'll tell you the results on the YouTube dashboard, but the impact on your website is why you'll want to have Google Analytics, the free product, on your website, because then that's going to tell you where all your traffic's coming from, and it's going to do that for any of your efforts that you're managing. So if you have other social media campaigns running, or if you're telling people in your business, go check out my website, or any kind of traffic, it's going to draw and understand what traffic's coming. So, and there's a question about listening to this again, and we can have a recording of this. If anybody wants to talk about this or have questions or wants one of the slides, or hey, I need to know more about this, you can give Suzanne a call. She'll probably forward you to me. You can call me directly. I'm not going to charge you for asking questions. Give you as much information as possible and show you how to do it as much as I can. There's great website companies. The Chamber has a great company that we use to do our website. So there's a lot of help, and there's a lot of places in the Chamber who have a lot of people have services who want to help as well. So just a shout out, we've got Scott over at Vector who does website building. We've got lawyers in the Chamber like Eric Glick. We've got a lot of people who are willing to help provide their services who you should check out and always buy local. So on behalf of Suzanne Levine, our executive director, and always give her a call to learn more about what the Chamber can do for your business. I appreciate your time. This was Vito from Fox. Thanks, everybody.